Assessment, and today I will explain about history of ancient Greece. Ancient Greece is located at the Mediterranean Sea. It is surrounded by another country. Many historians put ancient Greece into three time periods. First is Archaic period. Second is Classical period, and third is Hellenistic period. In Archaic period is the earliest period of ancient Greece. This period ended with the introduction of democracy. Democracy is a government under the direct or representative rule of the people of its jurisdiction. Democracy were born in Athens. Democracy were used until now in many other countries in the world. Classical period. In this period, Athens and Sparta were at their strongest moment. In Athens, art and philosophy were important, while in Sparta, fighting were important. They studied about war. This period ended with the death of Alexander the Great. Hellenistic period. Hellenistic period begins with the death of Alexander the Great. This period is the final period of ancient Greece. It is ended in 146 BC when Rome conquered the Greece.
Grains, vegetables, legumes, fruit, meat and fish. Meats were roasted on spits, cooked in ovens and boiled. Food was sweetened with honey or products made from naturally sweet grapes. Wine, cereals and olives formed the cornerstone of traditional Greek agriculture and diet. The Greeks also ate insects. Aristotle wrote that he liked cicadas the most. Aristophanes called grasshopper as four-winged fowl. Vegetarianism was practiced and promoted by the Pythagoreans. The Pythagoreans believed in a general prohibition against eating animals on the ground of having a right to live in common with mankind. Bread became part daily meals, and grain was the most important source of proteins and carbohydrates for both people and animals. During the summer, there were plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables to eat. Meanwhile, in the winter, they ate dried food and food they had restored, like apples and lentils. As most of the Greeks lived near the sea, they also ate a lot of fish, squid and shellfish. In some of the larger Greek city-states, meat could be purchased in cook shops. Meat was rarely eaten as the Greeks felt that just killing and eating a domesticated animal like goats and cows was wrong. The Greeks would often sacrifice the meat to the god first, and then might eat some of the meat. Besides of delicious, Greek foods also healthy, flavorful, and vegetarian friendly. Greeks really get their protein is from beans and other legumes, seafood. Although tourists may see Greece as eating many lambs, farmers and consumers generally use livestock, from milk to make cheese and yogurt. Greek food is the result of a mash-up from different cultures. Throughout all this integration, Greek food brought their own culture and favorite dishes and began sharing with all who visited. As I have mentioned before, there are a number of dishes made almost entirely of plant-based food, so eating like a vegetarian is not hard. The Greeks may had 3 to 4 meals a day. Breakfast consisted of barley dipped in wine, sometimes complemented by figs or olives. A quick lunch was taken around noon or nearly afternoon. Dinner is the most important meal of the day and was generally taken at nightfall.
Okay, this part I will explain about ancient Greek architecture. The ancient Greek had a unique style of architecture that is still copied today in government, building and major monuments throughout the world. Greek architecture is known for tall columns, intricate detail, symmetry, harmony and balance. The Greek built all sorts of buildings. The main examples of Greek architecture that survive today are the large temple that they built to the god. The Greek built most of their temple and government building in three types of style: Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian. This style will reflect in the type of column they use. Most all of the column had groove down the side called fluting. This gave the column a feeling of depth and balance. Example Doric. Doric columns were the most simple in the thickest of the Greek style. They had no decoration at the base and a simple capital at the top. Doric column tapered so they were wider on the bottom than at the top. Second, Ionic. Ionic columns were thinner than the Doric and had a base at the bottom. The capital at the top was decorated with scrolls on each side. And third, Corinthian. The most decorative of the three order was the Corinthian. The capital was decorated with scroll and the leaf of the acanthus plant. The Corinthian order became popular in the later era of the Greece and also was heavily copied by the Romans. The most famous temple of ancient Greece is the Parthenon, located on the Acropolis in the city of Athens. It was built for the goddess Athena. The Parthenon was built in the Doric style of architecture. It had a 46 outer columns, each 6 feet in diameter and 34 feet tall. The inner chamber contained a large gold and ivory statue of Athena. Beside that, temple the Greek built numerous other types of building and structure. They built large theater that could hold over 10,000 people. The theater were usually built into the side of a hill and were designed with acoustics that allow even the back row to hear the actor. They also built covered walkway called stores, where merchants would sell goods and people had public meetings. Other public meetings include the gymnasium, courthouse, council building, and sports stadium. The architectural element of the gym, courthouse, council building, and sports stadium is a first column. The column is the most prominent element in ancient Greek architecture. Columns support the roof but also give building a feeling of order, strength, and balance. Second, capital. The capital was a design at the top of the column. Some were plain like Doric and some were fancy like the Corinthian. Third, frieze. The frieze was a decorative panel above the column that contained relief sculpture. This sculpture often told a story or record an important event. And fourth, frieze. The frieze was a decorative panel above the column that contained relief sculpture. The sculpture often told a story or record an important event. And next, pediment. The pediment was a triangle located at each end of the building between the frieze and the roof. It also contained decorative sculpture. And next, the cella. The inner chamber in a temple was called the cella or the nose. Propyla, a processional gateway. The most famous one is at the entrance of the Acropolis in Athens. Interesting fact about the architecture of ancient Greece is the Tolos was a small circular temple built in the Greek. Major construction projects were managed by an architect who direct the worker and craftsmen. Many of the Greek temple and sculpture were painted with a bright color. Roofs generally were constructed with a small slope and covered with ceramic, terracotta tile. Most temples were built on a base that include 2 or 3 steps. This raised the temple above the surrounding land.
For the lifestyle, also quite different. As a man, they were in charge of the family and the home. Men in ancient Greece usually didn't spend much time at home. with their families. They would participate in government and had philosophical and business discussion with other men. But as a woman, they usually stay at home. They spend their time spinning thread and weaving the clothes. They also look after the children and prepare the food. Most women had a lot of help from slaves or servants. They helped mother take care of their children, cook, clean, make clothing, fetch water, and do other household tasks. In ancient Greece, women usually marry between 12 and 16 years old. Men were about 25. Women didn't choose who they want to marry with. It was the decision of their father or other male relative. Some city-states had wedding ceremonies, but some didn't. There was always at least a big party to celebrate the marriage. The father of the bride paid a dowry to her new husband. If the husband and the wife got a divorce, the husband paid the dowry back. If they had children, the children would stay with their father. Boys went to school, but girls didn't, except in Sparta. Boys start school at age 7 and finish around age 14. After that, they learned a trade, had a military training, or went on to more advanced schooling. For the girl, they stay at home and learn to cook, clean, and sew. Some girls had tutors and learned reading and writing too.
Communication also the part of the characteristic for the ancient Greece. Greek is the official language of the Greece, where it is spoken by almost the entire population. It is also the official language of Cyprus. This video will show the basic Greek phrase that used in their daily life.
Γεια σας. Γεια σας. Τι κάνετε? Τι κάνετε? Είμαι καλά. Είμαι καλά. Ευχαριστώ. Ευχαριστώ. Παρακαλώ. 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 Λείπαμε. Λείπαμε.
Next, Greece also has their own alphabet like alpha, beta, gamma, epsilon, and so on. This alphabet still used widely until now in the modern math, physics, and also chemistry.
Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega, sir.
Lastly, during the war, the ancient Greek armies developed a tool called the stentorophonic horn, also known as a tube. It allowed generals to communicate to their armies all at once. The ancient Greeks were very resourceful. The ancient Greeks also borrowed the concept that was developed in 2000 BC by the Sumerian, in which pigeon delivered message. They attach the message written in paper onto the pigeon back to send to the people at far range. It was a very effective way to send message because pigeons have a natural homing system. Ancient Greek also used light signal to send urgent message to armies.
Assalamualaikum. Today I will present about ancient Greece as the pioneer for the Olympic Games. The Olympic Games is a festival or celebration for Zeus, which is the Greek gods of sky and thunder. The Olympic Games first held in Olympia from 776 BC. The participation of the Olympic Games are from the cities of ancient Greece and also from other nearby civilizations like Rome. The participation is only restricted to male participants only. The champions of the Olympic Games for each sport will be awarded with olive leaf wreath, which is called kotinos. This is the olive leaf wreath or kotinos. The games played in ancient Olympic Games. The games played in ancient Olympic Games are running, which is they will sprint in a straight line for over 192 meters. Wrestling, boxing, pancration, which is same as modern day mixed martial art fights, equestrian, which is consists of chariot racing, and also pentathlon, which consists of major sports like running, long jump, discus throwing, javelin throw, and also wrestling. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Ihsan bin Muhammad. I would like to talk about several famous Greek personalities that we know nowadays, such as Archimedes. Archimedes was born 287 BC in the seaport city of Syracuse in Sicily, and he lived for 75 years. He is regarded as one of the leading scientists in classical antiquity, generally considered the greatest mathematician of antiquity and one of the greatest of all time. Archimedes anticipated of modern method in calculus and analysis by applying concept of infinitesimals and the method of exhaustions to derive the rigorously proved a range of geometrical theorems, including the area of circle and the surface area and the volume of sphere. He also created Archimedes' principle, which states that the upward buoyant force that it exerted on a body immersed in a fluid, whether fully or partially submerged, is equal to the weight to the fluid of the body displaced. Archimedes' principle is a law of physics fundamental to fluid mechanics, as we can see submarine nowadays. Plato, Athenian philosopher during the classical period in ancient Greece, founder of the Platonist school of thought and the academy, the first institution of higher learning in the Western world. Plato was the innovator of the written dialogue and dialect forms in philosophy. Plato is also considered the founder of Western political philosophy. His most famous contribution is the theory of form, known by pure reason, in which Plato presents a solution to the problem of universal known as Platonism.